This is the final product, the oyster grown by our company and ready for market after the depuration.
Hi everyone and welcome to All About Aquaculture to Sud Aquaculture Profit Afrique. Today we are visiting Sea Harvest in the state of Penang, which is an award-winning oyster hatchery in Malaysia.
Hello, my name is Alan Wong. Welcome to Sea Harvest Aquamarine Oyster Hatchery.
From where did you get the idea to set this hatchery, Alan?
Oh, I have visited US in 1991 to an oyster hatchery and farming in United States. So from there, when I get back to return to Malaysia, so I have decided to start an oyster farm in Malaysia.
Nice. And can you please take us around to show us what exactly you do in this beautiful and award-winning oyster hatchery?
Sure, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Let's follow me.
From where do you get the water, the seawater that you use here?
Okay, we take the water from a stream at the back of behind of this hatchery. During high tide, the seawater will flow into the stream. That's when we pump this seawater and we pump into this storage tank. So we have about 200 tons of this storage tank to store the seawater. Then we will do settlement and also the treatment before we use this seawater in our hatchery.
How do you do the treatment, please?
Okay, what we do is that we are using a settlement process to let all the suspended solid or siltation settle at the bottom of the tank. It takes about 3 to 4 days. Then after that, we also will add in the sodium hypochlorite, okay, to sterile the water.
Oh, okay, so it's a two-step. The first time the settlement of particles,
Yes.
and then you treat so that you remove all the bacteria.
Yes.
But the chlorine is quite toxic for the aquatic organism. How do you do with the chlorine?
Okay, so we let the chlorine to evaporate within about 3 to 4 days, so
Okay.
it will completely gone.
Ah, and now the water will be ready to be used at the hatchery.
Yes, clean water.
Thank you.
Hello, this is the phytoplankton culture, the food for the oyster baby. This is what we do is that we culture the phytoplankton. There's no artificial food for phytoplankton. They only consume this microalgae, or we call it phytoplankton.
And what are the species you have here, please?
Okay, we have a few species. We have flagellate and diatom. The flagellate will be the isochrysys, nanochlorosis, and palova, and also the tetraselmis. For diatom, we have Chitoceras.
Okay, and all these are in seawater, right?
Yeah, all these are seawater species or marine species
Okay.
of phytoplankton.
Okay.
And
So-
they are from tropical oyster, not from temperate climate.
Okay, and do you feed this to all the life stages or just to the babies?
Oh, yes, we do feed them to the oyster baby, that we first stage of the baby we call larva. Then also we feed them after the settlement, that is we call a speck or seed, up to about 1 cm. Then after that we will put them into the pond, then they will feed on the natural growth phytoplankton.
Can we see them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, this is the oyster baby, we call it larva, 6-day-old, size of 80 micron. So now what we do is that this larva is swimming in the water. We will try to get some larva out of the water to observe under the microscope. And this is a screen with a 40 micron size. So the larva will trap inside this sieve. Okay, you see that there's a dark powder, black powder at the bottom. Those are the oyster baby.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's see them under the microscope.
Okay, this is the oyster after settlement. Once they set, they will grow faster. And this is the size of about 1 cm spans.
Oh, can you get one in your hand? I just want to see, to assess the size. Okay, these are, so after the larvae, they become like this.
Yes, after they have set, okay, and then they become like this. These all are we call single.
Okay.
Okay, they are not attached together.
Okay.
This is the nursery pond. So when the speck have reached 1 cm, okay, then we will transfer the seed into the natural pond. So over here we will adjust the spat or acclimatize the spat to the natural environment until they reach about 1 inch. Then we will send them to the farming to farm the oysters.
Okay, so from here they start getting used to the farming environment where they will grow.
Yes, that is the natural environment. That is sunlight, high temperature, and also natural phytoplankton in the water.
How long do you keep them here for?
We keep them in the pond for about 2 months.
And then when you go now to the grow out to produce the one that will be good for eating, how long does it take in the grow out stage?
It takes about 4 to 6 months to reach about 3 inch.
Okay.
And then it took about 8 months to reach 4 inches.
Okay, so the overall production cycle here, because we are in the tropical setting, is how long?
Only 1 year from the hatching to 4 inches. That is the a la carte size, the big size. It takes about 1 year to grow.
Okay, and how long does it take in places like Canada and so on?
In the temperate country, normally it takes about 3 to 4 years to grow to the marketable size. So the tropical climate have the advantage because we have sunlight all year round. So that will help the phytoplankton to grow in the water, so they have more food. And their metabolism rate will be faster, so they grow faster. Whereas the temperate oyster will hibernate during the winter. So it takes longer time for them to grow.
Okay, thank you.
This is the oyster ready for the market. You don't eat the oyster direct from the farm because oyster is a filter feeder. So they have a lot of this microbe inside the oyster because oyster filter 50 gallons of water a day.
50 gallons?
Yeah.
Per oyster?
Per oyster.
Per day?
Yes. So all these microbes trapped in their intestine. So what we do is that we will depurate the oyster for 48 hours. So it is safe for raw consumption.
What?
But during this process, it will remove all the microbe from the oyster. So you will remove 99.9% of the microbe, and it's safe for raw consumption.
And how do you do that depuration, please?
What we do is that we put the oyster in the clean seawater without feeding. So this water is recirculate into ultraviolet. So the water will flush the oyster. It will flush out all the microbes inside the water. Okay, inside the oyster, sorry. Then after that, it will go into the ultraviolet, kill the microbes, and go back to the tank. Okay. So the whole process will take about 48 hours, and it will remove 99.9% of the microbes from the oyster.
Okay, and is it the same principle also with mussels?
Yes, normally this process is used for bivalve.
Okay, with mussels as well?
Yes, with the mussel as well. We do the same thing to the mussel.
Oh, you have the mussels here. What type of mussel is this one?
This is a green mussel.
Okay. Produced here in Malaysia as well?
Yeah, it's produced in Malaysia.
Okay. And where do you sell the oysters and the mussels?
Okay, we sell it to restaurant and hotels. Okay. Mainly in Penang, KL and Johor Bahru. Okay.
And what are their requirements in terms of quality? What do they ask you to do before they can buy?
Okay, see, most of the oysters are eaten raw. For 80% of the oyster are eaten raw, so it must be safe for consumption. So that's why that they require a test, biological test on this product. So they will do a few tests, like for instance, like Salmonella, E. coli, total count, and so forth, to ensure that the oyster have a very low level of this bioburden. Then it's safe for raw consumption.
Okay.
This is the final product. The oyster grown by our company and ready for market after the depuration process. Okay, thank you for visiting Sea Harvest Aquamarine Oyster Hatchery in Penang, Malaysia.